Hey guys, welcome to episode 26 of Pineapple Knits. I'm Marina, and you can visit me on Instagram and Ravelry at Pineapple Yarn, and you can visit my hand-dyed yarn company at pineappleyarn.com. Welcome to the podcast this week. I'm so excited to be joining you and to chat about yarn and knitting, what we always talk about every week, and it wouldn't be a podcast here without me talking about the weather. So it's been super cold here this week. It's been about 20 degrees below average, which is not saying a whole lot since the average is about 45 degrees. So needless to say, it's been super cold here, and I'm sure a lot of you have also been experiencing that in the US. So it's time to get out all the hand knits and try and keep warm. Am I right? So this is my Wondrous Moth Shawl by Lindsay Degen. I was knitting this on some of the very early episodes of the podcast, so I do have some details in my on my Ravelry page, but if you want to know more details, I definitely have them in some of the earlier episodes. But I know my Ravelry page is woefully neglected. I need to catch up and fill in a lot of missing info on there. But I'll get there eventually. I love Ravelry. I think it's a great tool. It's a great resource, but for some reason, I just cannot keep up with it. So I'll do it eventually. So I actually have 2 finished objects to share with you guys this week. I'm very excited. They are going to be gift knits and super fast to knit up. I was so excited to find this very quick project. So let me show you them. I knit these chunky beanies with my Nui Bulky Single yarn. It is a super bulky, beautiful single ply yarn, and I love the texture of this yarn. I've always really loved it, and the issue is that this is so chunky and it's just not really a versatile yarn. I guess I'll say that. It's not like a fingering weight yarn where you can make socks or you can make, shawls, even sweaters. This, I can't really see in myself making some socks out of this. You know what I mean? So what I decided to do, I really wanted to knit up some quick gift knits, some beanies, and so I came up with a pattern that uses basically the entire skein for one hat. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I really don't have any leftovers of bulky yarn because I'm not going to use it for anything. It's not like a sock where you can make stripes or put in a couple of heels or whatnot. It's just a little clumsy, I guess. I don't know what the word is, but I think you guys know what I mean. So I just kind of came up with a really simple pattern for these beanies. I'll put one on and show you so you can see what they look like. They are so cozy. I have a ponytail on right now, so this isn't so great, but it has just the right amount of slouch. It's a really nice width. I think it would fit a variety of head sizes. I have about an average size head, so this is, fits me great. But what I did with the pattern is actually weighed the yarn, and I weighed how much it would take for the decreases. So basically, you are going to knit, or what you can do is either knit the specified amount of rows in the pattern, or what you can do is just knit until you have approximately 12 grams left, then do the decreases as specified in the pattern, and you've used up basically all of your yarn. And I just thought that was such a great idea. I love it. I've made 2. They take just a couple of hours each one, so they're awesome for kind of like last minute knits. And I'm definitely going to make one of these for myself. I think these are going to be gifts, and yeah, I'm really happy with this. But let me tell you the colorways first. I'm all over the place today. This is my new Christmas colorway, Mele Kiliki Maka, and I will be adding more of this base in this colorway to the shop next Friday for next Friday's update. But I think the pooling on this is super fun. It's just really festive and fun, and definitely is not a serious hat. This is my Mahi colorway, and it is kind of a really yellowy mint green, pale mint green with lots of blue speckles throughout. Almost it kind of gives it a tweedy effect, which I like. Love this colorway. But if you are interested in the pattern, this is actually, so the notes for this pattern are actually in this project on my Ravelry page. It's called Nui Chunky Beanie. I'm pretty sure that's what I have it as. And I'm also, because I posted it on Instagram and I asked you guys if you would like a free pattern with this, or of this beanie with this yarn. And I had a good response of people saying, yes, you would like a free pattern. So what I'm gonna do is just take my notes from that project, put it into a pattern as a free download on Ravelry. So I will definitely keep you updated on this channel. Hopefully, I hope to do it in the next week. We'll see how it goes. But I wanted to make it available for you guys if you are interested in doing some quick knits, or if you just want a really cute hat for yourself. I love this. This would be really cute with a fur pom on top, which I plan on doing. I think I'm gonna do maybe like a hot pink or like magenta one for this. And then for this one, for the Mahi, I think I'm going to do like a navy blue or like a royal blue. I think that would be so pretty. So they would also look really good with like a natural kind of fur, natural colors like gray or brown, but I kind of want to do a color. So those are my finished objects. I was really excited about those, and yeah, excited to have another kind of quick knit pattern in my repertoire in case I need it in the future. So I'll definitely be making more of those, and I was happy to share the pattern with you guys. So I'm also working on another project with some yarn. I dyed up a new colorway, and this is a pattern called Greyson. It is for my son, and I am knitting I believe it's the 12 to 18 month size. And this colorway is a new colorway I dyed up called Coastal Fog. It is a gorgeous, kind of a blue, green, gray color. I'm really happy with it. I think it's so pretty. It's a really, really pretty tonal. And this is exactly the color I wanted. I had a very specific color in mind, and I was so happy that I aced the color. I actually dyed up a batch of this, and this will be in next Friday's update as well, on all different bases. But this is just the cutest pattern. It obviously could be for a boy or a girl, but when I saw the pattern photo, I just thought I have to make this. This is the cutest sweater. So what it is a V-neck sweater, top-down sweater, super simple, with raglan increases and then a 1x1 rib on the bottom. And so what I need to do now is knit the sleeves. And then what I do, I'm pretty sure, I don't really know because I haven't read this far in the pattern, but I'm pretty sure what I'll do is just pick up all along this V-neck and the back here and do a rib. That would be my guess, but it's going to be so cute. My son, unfortunately, has grown out of his colorwork sweater I knit him earlier this summer. So he needed just a super quick sweater. And the coolest thing about this pattern too is that it is a paid for pattern, but you get this really classic V-neck sweater in a variety of sizes, but also in a variety of bases. So I'm knitting this in a DK, but it also the pattern comes in worsted and bulky. So I just think that's such a cool idea to have all those patterns included in one, you know, depending on what yarn you have available, or really how quickly you wanted to knit a sweater up. You just have such a great, some great options there. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. The only modification I did is that I added some stitches underneath. I think, I can't remember, 5 stitches. I may have misread because I knit at night. Sometimes I miss things in patterns, but I don't think it called for any stitches to be added on, as far as I remember. I added some on just because, yeah, with babies, they tend to have a little bit chunkier arms sometimes, so I just wanted to make sure that he had enough room in his arms, especially if he had another layer underneath, like a long sleeve onesie or something. So that is that little sweater. It is flying along. I love it. It's so nice to be able to knit some of these faster projects nowadays. After doing a lot of sweaters and shawls, like big adult-sized sweaters and shawls, this is so nice to have some of these very quick projects. So that is that, and that is basically what I'm working on. I've been working on some socks for my kids, like I said last week. I can't show you those yet though, because that is my advent color that was included in my advent calendars. So I don't want to show up with that and spoil any surprises. I will probably show that probably after Christmas, just to make sure. I don't want to spoil anything. So that is that. That's what I've been working on. And I want to show you one thing that isn't knitting or yarn related, but it's a craft that I really enjoy doing. So hopefully you guys would be interested in seeing it too. For all of my kids, and I guess all of my girls, I have made them Waldorf dolls when they are quite young, when they're toddler age. And I started that 10, maybe not quite 10 years ago. I started making Waldorf dolls for my oldest. And so at this point I have made 4 Waldorf dolls, which isn't a lot, but I think by your 4th one you kind of know where you're going. But so my oldest daughter actually got 2. I guess I had more time then or something. I had more time to do these things. But my 2-year-old has wanted a doll like her sisters for quite a while. So she is going to get one for Christmas. And I wanted to show you, in case you are interested in making one or just kind of want to see the process, I want to show you what I use. So I actually, every time I make one, I buy a kit like this. This is from Weir Crafts, and I think they have a standalone site. I think I probably purchased this on Etsy though, just because I have it saved and I always just buy it from, or purchase it from Etsy. But it includes everything you need. So this is actually the stuffing. This is wool. It's so nice to have a doll stuffed with wool. They're so cozy and warm. And one of my daughters actually uses hers as a pillow and has for years. But what it includes, I mean, it includes everything from the wool stuffing. It includes the fabric. And I want to show you something that I love. It includes thread. So it includes everything you need. One thing I love about this pattern is that it actually, or this kit, they actually have traced on it the cut marks, the sewing lines. I have to tell you guys, I love to sew, but the worst part about sewing is preparing your pattern, you know, tracing onto the fabric or pinning it on or however you do it, and cutting it out. And so this makes everything so fast. I love that. It also comes with a little instruction book, and as you can see, the big doll needle is actually taped to the instructions. So that's really great. And then one more thing I want to show you is that it comes with, so cute, it comes with clothing patterns as well. And these are very, very simple little pieces of clothing to make for the dolls. And I have made these in all different fabrics. I have done super bright colored, modern, fun fabrics, and I've done them in old-fashioned fabrics, all over the place, and they are so cute and so fun. They don't have, I think except for the little pinafore, the little apron, they don't have closures, I don't think, and so they are really great for little kids and little hands because they don't have buttons or Velcro or anything like that, so it works out great. They included also some mohair for the hair. So what I usually do for the hair is I use mohair like this, and then I crochet a cap. So you're basically crocheting like a little beanie, but it's a little short because it's only supposed to be like the hairline. I stitch it on really well, and then I take I'm trying to think what I normally use. I find some kind of like wire bristled brush, almost like something you'd use for basically like a stiff wire brush you would use in a blending board, or I'm thinking like a dog brush. I'm not really sure. I hope you know what I'm trying to say. But you take that and you just brush it out, and it brings up to the surface all these little wispy parts of the mohair, and it actually looks like hair. It's really sweet, and it's nice for kids maybe who wouldn't treat their dolls with care because they're little and they want to love on their dolls. So this is how I usually do the hair. So I will show you as the doll progresses. I'm feeling a little bit of pressure to get it done, especially because the girls want doll clothes as well. So how I usually do that is kind of I guess just like assembly line process. I usually stack fabric on top of each other. I trace the pattern and then I cut it all out at once. I sew them all at once. And so there's not a lot of detail put into it, but I remember my oldest daughter, when I made her doll, oh my goodness, I made coordinating outfits. I made coordinating felt shoes with little felt flowers on the toes. I think the little shoes had snaps on them. They actually snapped. I mean, it was a beautiful doll, just a beautiful, and she appreciated that doll very much. But now we're down to, we just don't have a lot of time for that anymore. So hopefully I can, I'll show you guys what I do. I know I have modified some patterns on Ravelry before for, Waldorf shoes, the doll shoes. And those are very quick. Just use a little bit of fingering weight yarn. So I'll show you guys as that progresses because it's the middle of November now and I really need to get going on this. So that's that. That's what probably the main thing that I will be making them for Christmas. One or two of them might get hats. Some of them don't like hats. Kind of getting into store-bought things, which is sad, but that's okay. It frees up time for the other kids, right? All right, well, I want to show you some of the things I plan on putting in my next shop update and just a little discussion about that. I will be having a shop update. It will be next Friday, November 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It is the day after Thanksgiving, and if you're in the US, you know that Friday after Thanksgiving's Black Friday. So I will be having my shop update on Black Friday. I haven't really thought about if I'm going to have any kind of coupon codes or anything. I might. If I do, it'll be on Instagram, though. I'll post it on Instagram. But I want to talk a little bit of administrative things with the shop. Because it is Thanksgiving next week, I will have delayed shipping probably in the second half of next week. We don't have mail on Thursday, obviously, and just with the holiday, things will be a little bit behind. So I just want to give you guys a heads up because I usually ship pretty quickly, and I didn't want you to be disappointed when I didn't ship right away. So that's that. And I am dyeing up a ton of yarn this week. I will be putting in a lot for a lot of my colorways. I will be putting in this base, the Nui Bulky Single base. I'd really like you guys to have a variety of colors and colorways to knit some beanies with. So I'll be releasing the pattern hopefully next week, or maybe even at the end of this week if I can get to it. But then I will also have a lot of this base in the shop, and I do have some already in the shop. I can't remember offhand what colorways are included in the space, but I'm dyeing up a ton of this. I will have a lot of tonals, a lot of restocks. I will have, as far as new colorways, I'll have this one, which is Coastal Fog. I will have it in my Lani Sock base, a DK weight, and then also the Nui Bulky, because I thought this would be a beautiful hat, maybe with kind of like a natural colored palm. I thought it would be so, so pretty. And I keep thinking of all these colors to be pretty, like my pale peach colorway. I will have some of the Nui Bulky and neon coral. Just have a lot of colors. So that is really exciting. I will also be putting in a lot of colorways like little paper umbrellas. I will be having, I'm trying to think what else. I should have brought my list up here. I will be putting in a colorway that I only had for sock sets before. It was called Good Vibes Only. It was I cannot wait to dye this up. It's so beautiful. It's kind of like a pinky purple and blue and some paler shades in there. And it sold out really quickly, the sock set did. So I think that you guys really liked it. I loved it. And I will be putting that on a variety of bases as well. So I'm really excited to get that into the shop on some larger, some 100 gram skeins. But speaking of sock sets, I actually dyed up 3 new colors for sock sets. And if you guys are familiar with my end of the day line or series of yarn, what I do is when I have leftover dye from a dye session, I dye up one-of-a-kind skeins. They can't be repeated because I don't have recipes and I never know how much dye and what strength of dye I use for them. But I had a bunch of dye I needed to use, and so I decided instead of dyeing 100 gram skeins, I decided to do some sock sets. So I will be having those in the shop as well on Black Friday. So I'm really excited about those. I think for sure I'm going to have to reserve at least one sock set for myself, because every time I say I'm going to, and then I never do. So there are some really, really pretty colors in those sets. So I'm very excited to assemble those. Those will be fun. And the other thing I wanted to show you that I will have in the shop. So as many of you know, I am a huge Marvel Comics fan. Not like huge that like I go to Comic-Con or something, but I really, really enjoy all of the Marvel movies that have come out. And I remember the first time I really started watching them, I didn't think that I would like them because I'm not like a huge like fantasy, like sci-fi kind of movie person. But I think because they are so outlandish and just so kind of made up, anything goes. So, a lot of times when I watch movies, I don't like, this is a total aside. I don't really like movies if they don't get facts right or they don't get some kind of like historical thing correct. It just ruins the whole movie for me. So I think that's maybe why, one of the reasons, aside from the fact that all the Marvel movies are done really, really well, that's one reason why I really like them, because they are complete fantasy. And so there's no realistic things that they need to get accurate, right? But anyway, I had planned on making some kits with some fabric. And then I believe it was yesterday, we heard the news that Stan Lee died. And he obviously, if you are a Marvel comic fan, you know that, he was Marvel Comics. So I decided to just push these through. I was going to dye yarn to match, but I think I'm just going to put the bags in the shop. But I wanted to show you them. This is the fabric I have all ready for these project bags. And I always tell you guys, I don't like to put things in the shop, and I don't put things in the shop that I don't like myself. But I saw this fabric and I kind of went crazy. I thought this was so adorable. I love this fabric. So cute. And then I have some really cute yellow, it's kind of a lemony yellow star fabric to put as the lining. And if that wasn't cute enough, I actually sourced some charms that I'm going to make as progress keepers that have the Avengers symbol. So they're really, really cute. They're black, sparkly. Aren't those adorable? So I will be having the project bag and the charms also on Friday. And I will have a pretty limited number of those project bags. So if you're interested, definitely set your alarm for Black Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, because those are so, so cute. And I'm just really excited to have the fabric and have those all ready, just as kind of like a tribute to Stan Lee, because I think he's like just a really creative person, obviously. And yeah, I thought that some of you out there might really enjoy those project bags as well. But I want to show you one more thing about the shop, or that I have for the shop. So this isn't anything, you know, life-changing or whatnot, but if you've placed an order for my shop, you might know, or you might remember, that I always include a little thank you note. And what I've done in the past, I have included like a little treat in the past. I think in the past several months, I've included some really pretty gold stitch markers. But I have sourced the cutest little treat to include in your orders, and I wanted to show them to you. Some of you might recognize them because I've already started sending them out, but they are the cutest little pineapple gummies, and they're from Hawaii. Aren't those cute? Now, I wouldn't be a good friend if I didn't try one before, so I did try one. Of course, my kids helped me because, you know, but they're so good, and they have a really mild pineapple flavor. So hopefully I'll continue to be able to source these. I think they're so cute. And I hope you guys enjoy them too. But I just wanted to show you those because I love them. I think they're so pretty. But that is what I have for the podcast this week. I'm so happy that you joined me today. And if you enjoyed the podcast, I would love if you could like and subscribe to the podcast. I really appreciate it. And I just really appreciate you guys taking some time out of your day. I know how valuable it is. So thank you for taking time out of your day to join me. And I hope it brightened your part of the world today. So until next time, I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.